So I want to do the same message basically, but with tarot cards that I did for animal cards. But this time I'm going to say I asked, how did the universe see you? But this could mean what you need to work on, or how it needs, or what you're doing right, basically, right? So I pulled 5 cards, and I'm using my favorite tarot deck. And the first card that came out was the Nine of Cups. See that? So basically, the Nine of Cups signifies emotional contentment, fulfillment of desires, and wish fulfillment. It often represents a time of satisfaction, abundance, and feeling at peace with one's circumstance. When reversed, oh no, but it came out upright. Okay, so it's funny because I did a past, present, and future, and I shuffled these cards for a long time. Yesterday, and basically 2 of them came out the same. These 2 came out yesterday. And I'm kind of going to read it like in the same sense because that's what I'm feeling with it. Like that it's the first part is maybe your past and something, and the next part is your future. So basically is that you could have been in the past that you felt your wish fulfillment. You felt emotional fulfillment. You felt your desires. Like this could have been even with a person that you felt like you found your person, and literally it was your wish fulfillment. It was what you prayed for. It could have been a job, it could have been a person, it could have been a place, but you were in a place or with a person that made you feel fulfilled, that made you feel like you were desired and you desired them. And you maybe never even experienced that with someone before. Like maybe you've never had a relationship where someone felt like your best friend that you could confide in, that you could be vulnerable with, and this person made you feel like I can be myself with this person, right? So there was something that you felt in the past that was your wish fulfillment. Or it could be right now that you feel you're with someone, you're in a place, you're in a job that feels like your wish fulfillment, that you feel emotional contentment. But what I'm getting is that this is more about the past that you felt wish fulfillment with, and you felt peace with that person. So you felt a sense of satisfaction, you felt abundance just by having this person or job or being in this place. And that was something that, and I feel like it's the past because the next card is the Tower card, right? So I feel like this is something that you felt in the past, and maybe it was short-lived. Maybe it was something that you didn't even get to experience for a long time. So again, a person, place, or a job. But it was something that was short-lived, and it was something that you didn't get to experience for long, but it felt like your emotional fulfillment. But then a Tower moment happened, and let me just read what the Tower is. So the Tower is danger, crisis, destruction, liberation, a sudden unforeseen change. So I'm gonna read it as if it was a person, right? And I'll say if it was a job too, because it could be any, right? But basically, you felt wish fulfillment with this person. And then what happened was a sudden change. Like either someone interfered with this connection, either your own mind interfered with the connection, you started to overthink it, that it was too good to be true, and you started to self-sabotage this relationship. You started to push the person away, maybe take your space, just not be invested in this connection because you didn't maybe have self-worth, self-esteem at the time, or someone interfered with this connection and it made you go into a state where you felt like this is too much for me to handle, right? So there was some sort of situation that felt dangerous that could have put someone in a circumstance where they were put in danger, and it was basically the destruction of this wish fulfillment that you had, that you were feeling so on cloud 9, but something happened that made you either lose this job, have to move from this place, have to get rid of your home, have to stop speaking to this person that you felt was your wish fulfillment. And then the next card that we have is the Chariot. So the Chariot is overcoming conflicts and moving forward in positive direction. One needs to keep going on. Through sheer hard work and commitment, he will be victorious. So you felt like this person was your wish fulfillment, right? Then you had a Tower moment. So now what you've been doing is that you've realized that in order to resolve this, you need to overcome the conflict. You need to have a conversation, because there's probably conflict in the past with this person because of the coldness and everything, the decisions that you were choosing to make, right? Which was causing that person to be reactive as well, right? So it was like a miscommunication, and both parties were reactive in the situation, causing this tower moment to happen. So the Chariot is that you're deciding to move forward in a positive direction, that you knew that this person was your wish fulfillment, that you're like, listen, I need to figure out how to get that person back in my life. And the Chariot is like fast, rapid movement. So you need to like, and also in your life, through that you probably invested a lot of time into your work to distract yourself from the situation. So you've been investing all your time in your work and being committed to that work, but now you're realizing that that person that was your wish fulfillment, you're like, I need to give that person commitment and put the work in to that relationship to show them that I'm there for them because of all the sabotaging that happened in the past. So you're realizing that you want to go forward in a positive direction, but will that person be receptive? But you know that you need to make a move and be honest and talk about it in order for things to move forward. And then, sorry, hold on. And then the Five of Cups is sadness, loss, regret, often focusing on what has been lost rather than what remains. It can indicate a period of mourning, disappointment, or dwelling on negative emotions. This card encourages introspection and finding a way to move forward from a place of sorrow. So when I read this in the past, present, and future, this is the future card that the Divine Masculine got. And if you're part of the same collective, then maybe this applies to you too. Whereas, so it was kind of like the Chariot card basically that came out. I forgot what card it was, but it was basically saying that like, if you don't take action, then you're going to experience sadness and loss. So if you choose not to do this and move forward in a positive direction, then you're going to experience the sadness and loss, because this person's going to move forward. They're not going to wait for you forever. They're going to go on with their own lives, right? Especially if you're no communication, especially if there's separation, you have no idea, the Divine Feminine has no idea what's going on in your mind, then they're just going to let go of this connection. They don't know if you're healing. They don't know if you're doing the work. They don't know if you're trying to be better. They don't know if you're working through your trauma. So you're going to experience some sort of sadness or loss. Or this could be that you were in a previous relationship before you met your wish fulfillment, and you experienced heartbreak and pain in that relationship, and that was something that in turn made you push this connection away as well, because you were still dealing with that heartbreak of that previous connection, that you knew that you need to look inward, introspection, to deal with that sadness, to deal with that loss, to trust yourself and trust others again, to put up boundaries, to mourn that relationship that you had before, right? So, and even within this connection, because this was your wish fulfillment and you lost this person, you have been feeling the loss of not having that person in your life, that not having that wish fulfillment, that connection that made you feel like home and that made you feel like peace. So it's like three different messages. Basically, you're either going through a heartbreak with someone else that was in your life, a previous relationship, a karmic, that made you feel, that hurt you, that whatever they did to you, and vice versa, you guys could have hurt each other. It always takes two to tangle, and that relationship made you not trust people, right? And then you're experiencing heartbreak and sad and pain and not trusting other people. So you were going through that turmoil when your wish fulfillment came in, and then in turn, because you didn't deal with that trauma, because that person was still lingering in your life, because that person could have caused a destructive tower moment with you and your wish fulfillment, that caused you to even go into another place of heartbreak and loss and push that connection away. And then that made you experience more sadness and heartbreak and loss, right? And then the last message is that if you don't do the Chariot and move forward in the positive direction and go towards the person that you want to be with, then you will continue to experience sadness and loss and stay in that state, because you're not moving forward with that, with what you're meant to do, with what your soul is telling you to do. So I wasn't planning on making this a love reading. I thought it was going to be like the animal cards, how the universe sees you, but the way the cards came out, like, that's the message that I got from reading them. And it's funny because the last card is the Queen of Cups. And this Queen of Cups would signify the fact that it's the last card, and everything else before it of what I was saying, it says this could be how you see your divine feminine. Like the person who made you feel wish fulfillment was the first one and this is the last one, is that you see them as compassionate, empathetic, and having emotional maturity. You see her, the Queen of Cups embodies unconditional love, kindness, sensitivity, suggesting the presence of a nurturing and supportive individual, or the potential to embody these qualities yourself. This card encourages self-care, emotional well-being, and healthy boundaries in relationship. So what you see is that your divine feminine, and you could embody these characteristics as well, and that's why you were so attracted to this divine feminine. But however, through your hurt and pain, you put up a wall, and after you put up your wall, you stopped showing these qualities to your divine feminine, and you kind of shut her out and iced her out, right? So the reason why the divine feminine was your wish fulfillment was because she embodied these qualities. Yo. And the thing is, if you guys are both on this divine journey, you guys probably both have gone into ice. Are you okay, baby? Okay, baby. Hold on. So if your divine feminine has gone on this journey alongside, and you've gone on this journey as well of healing and facing your shadows and whatnot, you've probably seen your divine feminine glow up, and you already knew she had these qualities before, but like you, she was probably going through a hard time too. Maybe she just got out of a toxic relationship as well. Maybe she just got out of a situation and she was in dealing with childhood trauma that as well, and she went into isolation and she started to work on herself. And now you're seeing her, because maybe your relationship was short-lived, so you didn't really get to know her, so you saw parts of her, or you saw the potential of what she could be, but you knew that she had this nurturing side, this empathetic side, and this maturity to her. But through her going on her journey, you've seen that those traits have been amplified, that she is this emotionally mature person, that she is this sensitive person, caring about your feelings, caring about who you are, nurturing your emotions, your vulnerabilities, and being compassionate towards you. Okay, Mario Luigi. Hold on 1 second. And that she gave you her unconditional love, right? Like whatever happened, if it was a karmic that had interference, whatever tower moment, she was there, still there for you, but yet you chose to push her away, basically, right? So it's like she had empathy for you, she had compassion for you, she still does, and she gave you her unconditional love and kindness, right? She didn't judge you on the situations that you were going through at the time. So yeah, so this is one of those things that's why you feel the sadness over losing her, because of the fact that she possessed all these qualities of what you're looking for in a partner, and now you're seeing her even more possess these qualities and really come into the person that she was, her highest self, right? So yeah, so you're going through this basically mindset where you want to make a move, you want to change the circumstance, you want to like overcome this tower moment that happened and not stay in this place of sadness and loss. 1 second, baby. Yeah, 1 second, baby. You don't want to stay in this sadness or loss. You want to get back your Queen of Cups, right? You want to be with that person who was your wish fulfillment, but you know that you need to make a move in order to make that happen, and you need to overcome a mindset and heal from the stuff that you've gone through and really communicate with your divine feminine. That's probably scary because of everything that happened, but if you don't talk it through and you don't face the music, then nothing can progress forward, right? Like if you're worried about conflict is always going to arise. It's just how do you deal with it? And if you see your divine family as emotionally mature, then hold on for 1 second. Hold on. Yeah, if you see your divine feminine as changing and growing and that she's emotionally mature, then she's going to react differently than if you guys had miscommunication in the past. Then it's going to be a different communication, but there's still going to be hurt and pain, and you have to be willing to face that in order for things to change. So yeah, Divine Masculine, I hope this message helped you to see things and confirming what you're already feeling and help you make a decision on what you want to do next.
Hi, Mom.
Divine Masculine, right? I said?